What's up, everybody? Tommy D. Good to see everybody. This is a clarification from a conversation that was on Twitter. And I feel, obviously, I've had plenty of conversations over the course of the last 6-7 years, and many of them have gone, have become misconstrued throughout the timeline process and replies process. This is to generic Mets fan. Let me make sure I get that right as I pull it up on Twitter. I hope everybody's enjoying their Friday. It's hot out there. In my house here, just doing some things and having this conversation. Generic Mets fan. Jay Bruce. We were talking about, obviously, the trade deadline is today. Zach Wheeler is in the discussion, and Knicks fans, Phil Jackson's done a really nice job with the young players. This is a tough day for a guy like Zach Wheeler, who, granted, doesn't have to perform for a little while, but I'm talking about probably mid to late next summer. But this is his career. This is his his future and where he's going to be with his family. So there's a lot going on here. And Sandy Alderson's, kind of dangling him out there. And Phil Jackson hasn't done that with his young players. And I think organizationally that's a smart thing and a really, really good thing to do. So I'm a little surprised, and I think this is a little out of character for Sandy. If I was going to be critical and fair, I don't like how he's treated the young players throughout this whole process. And if they don't make a deal, that's going to be something that's pretty telling. That's one point. The second point is, how I value a player like Wheeler versus, or pairing him with a deal for a bat. Listen, we know they need a bat, and Jay Bruce is a more dynamic power threat, home runs and RBIs, than Billy Hamilton, who I mentioned. Hamilton's only 24. I like him if I were thinking about making a deal, whether it's Wheeler for Bruce or Wheeler for, hypothetically, Hamilton. I like the disruptive guys at the top of the lineup. Now, that may not fit what the Mets are doing right now perfectly, and I would definitely have, and okay, this is a little bit of a hedge, I would have other players ahead. I just don't really love the concept of trading for Jay Bruce because of the type of player he is. He's Lucas Duda. And to me, I get infuriated when guys just stand around and wait for the big hit. The Mets need a lot. They need certainly a prime bat, which I think is what they're after. I just don't know if Bruce is that guy, especially if you're dealing Wheeler. So I want to be clear on that. I'd rather have, if we're talking about two guys, if we're talking about Bruce or Billy Hamilton for Zach Wheeler, I would take Billy Hamilton. I wouldn't lean or be aggressive towards doing either deal, to be honest, but I would definitely lean towards Hamilton. But hopefully Sandy can get a better deal done before the deadline. That's it. Tommy D at Thomas C D at Twitter.